On the RxI, we have a drop-down menu under the ACIST label in the upper left-hand corner. And we can go ahead and access all the submenus here. Now, at the time, we can go ahead and go under System Settings, and we can change the language and the date and the time. Here's where we enter the facility name, which can be done at the time of install, and that does not go away unless you go in and change it. Under Lab ID, this is where we have the ability to select whether we're going to be moving the RxI system from room to room or if it'll be stationary in one room all the time. Now, you heard me say that we only have to zero this system to the hemodynamic system one time, but that is when it is in the stationary mode. Then we're essentially telling the computer that it's going to be staying in one room, it's matched or paired to that hemodynamic system, and that hemodynamic system won't change. So then we can go ahead and program the software essentially to skip the zeroing step. If it is in the mobile mode, now we're telling the system that this will go from room to room, and it'll program the software to prompt the user to zero this system for every FFR procedure. Audio volume, also touch screen calibration if the touch screen calibration becomes uncalibrated. And then finally, we have a submenu down here for installing software for making the system upgradable. Underneath pressure waveform settings, we are able to change how the pressure waveforms look on our screen. We can set the mean pressure calculation to 1 or 3 or 4 or 8 or 12 beats. So essentially what that is that this system will calculate a mean arterial pressure after the third beat. It defaults to 3. If the user is using IV adenosine and wants to go to 8 or 12 beat mean, they can do that. We also have sweep speed. That just really shows how fast those pressure waveforms go across the screen. Then it's followed by the graph scale maximum, and that's what the scale is on this system from 0 to 100 or 0 to 200. And then finally, we can restore all the defaults to how those pressure waveforms look on the screen by hitting Restore Default. Under our main drop-down menu, we also have Patient ID. So if you choose to, you can put a patient identifier, either an MR number or the patient's name or perhaps their initials in here, which will be tracked with that FFR. Zero pressure sensor, we have that capability, but if we're going to hit this, we have to make sure that that pressure sensor is outside of the body when we recalibrate it. You notice when we plugged in our purple connector into the front of the unit that it's self-calibrated. There should really be no reason to do other zeroing of the pressure sensor, but if the physician chooses to, he would do that right here. So this concludes my in-service. I hope you found it helpful, and happy selling.